Spurs fans, it's Paul Hotspur hippie here, the only psychedelic soccer show on the internet. The game finished about an hour or two ago. It's really horrible outside, so I'm not even going to go on my roof for this one. I thought we'd chill back in days gone yore when we used to win stuff. Unfortunately, it was not to be for Tottenham Hotspur, by far the greatest football team the world has ever seen this morning. Going down 1-0 against Manchester City. It was an interesting sort of game to dissect. I don't know quite what to make of it. I think Tottenham defended really well. I think Van de Ven, Romero, Udogie, and Porro. But especially, I think Van de Ven and Udogie had really good games at the back there. They stifled out a lot of Manchester City's attacks, of which there were several. If you look at the stats, they had like 5 million shots and we had one. I don't know how that works. I don't know what they're counting as a shot these days. A bit of drama early on in the game where Manchester City had a goal disallowed for offside. It wasn't allowed on the pitch. VAR took 5 hours to decide that it was offside. You could clearly see it was offside. Easy peasy. So we didn't really get away with one there. It was just offside. You know, it's not a goal. It's not a goal. But for the rest of the first half, I wouldn't say Manchester City were dominant. I'd just say we just couldn't do much with the ball. It was a weird old affair, wasn't it? We, you know, when we were trying to get the ball up the sides, the ball was just in the wrong place for like Kulu to really get hold of it and turn and do anything with it. Timo Werner had a little bit of the ball. I thought he was all right. I don't think anyone was especially bad, you know. It was just one of those weird old games, really, where for all the huffing and puffing and effort, we couldn't really get anything out of it. I don't think Manchester City were outstanding. I don't think we were terrible. I think for a lot of the game, we kind of cancelled each other out. It was weird. It didn't look like anyone was really grabbing the game by the scruff of the neck. I suppose if anyone, Manchester City had more of the ball. They had more possession than us, but it was largely pointless possession. So we went off 0-0 at the end of the first half. No substitutes came on for the first bit. And I thought we looked a bit better. We weren't really coming at them and imposing ourselves on the game. That was the problem. Like even from the get-go, that usual thing where Spurs come out and just go for at least 10 minutes. We didn't do that. So we kind of let Manchester City get a little bit of time on the ball. They didn't look dangerous though, man. I mean, you know, people saying the world's best team. I mean, they're a bunch of cheats anyway. I know they're going straight now, but they're a bunch of cheats. They'll be playing in the Isthmian League before long. Who cares? So it was a moral victory for us, I suppose. But there, we lost 1-0. I can't really complain about the result. I thought we could have maybe snatched a 0-0 out of it, but it wasn't to be. Manchester City had corner after corner, which in the first half they were being taken by Alvarez and he didn't seem to be really getting them on the money. But when Kevin De Bruyne came on and started taking corners, they looked far more dangerous. And it was from a corner, disappointingly, a set piece, that Manchester City got their goal. There were sort of cries for Vicario being fouled. Now I can't really go to. I think it was if the decision on the pitch was it was a goal, and I think for VAR to have overturned that would have been. Look, I hate VAR whether it's for or against us. So again, it just took a bit of puff and momentum out of the game, really, didn't it? It kind of that VAR check probably stopped us from. You know, it gave us too much time to think, maybe. We sort of it dawns that you're chasing the game now, whereas if you get back on the centre circle and just keep going, maybe you can get something out of it. Not to be. And then in the last 5 minutes, Manchester City were absolutely disgraceful. World's best team. Is that how you play football? Corner flag, taking corner after corner, engineering just to get another corner, wasting time. It was disgusting, really. It's not football. And I'm glad that that's something we don't see Tottenham Hotspur doing. Like Steve Perriman said to me on a stream a while ago, he was never asked by any manager to do any of that shit, but that seems to be the case now, isn't it? Even when you're the best in the world with nothing to fear, you obviously are a little bit scared, and you have to play low time wasting, cheating tactics. Hey, well, so be it. Well done, man. Well done to Manchester City. This might be their last run at a serious cup for about 10 years when they get booted out of the Football League. That'd be nice. We go on, don't we? We've got our next game against Brentford. I only found out after the game, by the way. Look, let's keep my camera. I didn't even sort my camera out. I'm like half invisible. Hang on. I know I could retake this, but we lost, man. So there's only so much enthusiasm I've got. Let's make myself a bit more solid. A bit more colourful. There we go. Is it worth it? Probably not. There we go. There we go. Bit more like our defence, which I think did an outstanding job. So, yeah, I found out after the game, of course, that Jurgen Klopp has decided to pull up stumps at the end of the season for Liverpool. That does mildly concern me. I hope they don't start looking at Ange. I know Ange was a Liverpool supporter when he was a kid, so a little bit nervous, to be honest, about that. You know, hopefully Liverpool don't have the foresight or bottle to pursue someone like Ange, and I hope Ange is happy at Tottenham Hotspur. The fans, again, were in great voice today. We're creating a good atmosphere. Ange was talking prior to the game, I've watched this press conference now, about how, you know, winning one trophy is all well and good, but it doesn't mean anything if you don't back it up, and what he's trying to do is build prolonged and sustained success at Tottenham, where we're challenging for stuff every year, and I think that's what we're on course to do. And it gives us a chance to focus on the Premier League now. Every cloud's got a silver lining here, folks. Manchester City is there. And in fact, all the teams above us, all their fixtures are going to get more and more congested. Maybe we just flit on through. Who knows how high we can finish in the league. But that challenge now that we're out of the FA Cup is all we got for this season. Bit of a shame, because I'm just enjoying watching games with Tottenham. I know it wasn't our best performance today. It wasn't overly crap, though. I mean, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg did a couple of really big fluff-ups, but Man City didn't capitalise on them, so who cares? Who cares? We just didn't get the ball up the middle of the pitch. We struggled to time it right to get out the sides. We were just, you know, I think saying off it is a bit harsh, but we weren't in it. You know, we weren't challenging. We weren't intense enough. The periods where we actually did show, you know, I was getting my hopes up at a few times in the game that we could actually turn this into something, but it just wasn't enough. Wasn't enough. Maddison, it was good to see him back on the pitch. Didn't really see an awful lot from him. There was one nice through ball he did. For my man of the match, Spurs man of the match, Vicario didn't let us down. Did one mistake, but it didn't lead to a goal, so who cares? I think Destiny, man. I just like the way Destiny just really muscles players off the ball when he's going when they're both running side by side for the football. Destiny is always going to get it. So Destiny's in with a shout. Van der Ven, I thought, had an excellent game as well. Romero. And midfield were just frustrating, man. Frustrating. And it wasn't all their fault. It was some of the balls they were getting as well. So they couldn't really provide that link to up front. So we were pretty quiet up front, but I don't know if they really had much of a shot. Well, they didn't have any shots, but much of a chance to get in there. Manchester City did a pretty good job at stifling our midfield, and also we were giving giving the ball away. We were trying to do stuff and it just wasn't coming off. So I don't think we were quite off it. I don't think it was a bad performance. I don't think we, on the other hand, were we good enough to deserve a win? Nah, probably not. But hey, that's the way it was. That's the way it was. Manchester City have broken their duck at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It's an aberration. It's a blip. It's a one-off. And with a bit of luck, they won't be coming here for about 10 years anyway. So what can I say, folks? Disappointing, but I'm not distraught. I'm not super flat over it. There's signs that even when we're not playing at full fluidity, we can almost do enough to just keep ourselves in the game. Not to be our day today. But onwards and upwards, man. Onwards and upwards. We're facing Brentford during the week. And I think it's Brighton. 2 games that could really shape the rest of our season going for Champions League football or beyond. Or beyond. It's not over yet. Till next time, folks. Peace and love, man. Peace and love. And come on, you Spurs.